Hey, today we're going to talk about swing timing and why you just might not need that much of it.
So there's no better feeling knowing that when you wake up in the morning to go play golf, so that you're going to play well. There's no better feeling of hitting good golf shots down the fairway. Years ago, I was frustrated because I lost that. I was confused, I was frustrated, and then I met Mo Norman and learned the single plane swing. And so now I wake up every day and I know I'm going to hit it well, I know I'm going to play well, I know I'm going to have fun. So my mission today is to help as many people as possible wake up every day feeling good that they're going to go out there and play great because of the single plane swing.
Hey, welcome to the channel today. I want to talk about swing timing. Now, that's a weird subject, right? Because people talk about sequencing and timing and the positions of the swing and all this stuff goes on and how you have great timing. And personally, I think I have to back this up for you just a little bit, because let's talk about what it is and let's talk about where it comes from, because I don't think people address this enough. As far as they'll mention the word timing, you see it discussed on TV when people analyze swings, you'll see it discussed on the Golf Channel when they're analyzing swings, but no one says what it is, right? Oh, he has great timing, or you have to have perfect timing to hit that shot. What is timing? Let's back up one step and say that there's a sequence to the swing, right? We know this. We know there's a proper sequence. There's a backswing, a downswing, and a through swing. Well, that's part of it, but there's also the body parts that move in a particular order. Now, let me go through the order really fast, because we'll kind of get an understanding of just the sequence of the motion, and we'll talk about the timing of it. I think the timing and sequence are different, so we'll talk about that. So here we go into the motion here, and obviously everything's working together, but you've seen me analyze this in detail where I talk about how much motion is each part. I won't get into that right now, but you have everything moving together, and then you have more arms and shoulders and hands, and then you have this transition where the lower body moves, separation, and then everything moves together, pulling the arms and hands, and you get to a point here where the lower body is pretty much stuck, and it's just torso, arms, and hands. Then the hands deliver the club and extend, and then you finish the swing, and that's the golf swing. So you see how there's motion and there's body parts that are moving more than others in that sequence of events. So that's sequence. And if you want to review some of that stuff, I go into some heavy detail on sequence and timing, but let's talk about the timing part of this. And timing is when the body part is in the right place, the correct place during that sequence. So sequence is the motion happening. Timing is when the body part is actually where it needs to be, timing. But I want to discuss range of motion again, because this is where I think people are missing it. And I use the example that if I was to take somebody who's a beginner and start them learning the swing, and then by the time they had a really great swing, what happened? Like, what happened between the non-sequence, not timing, bad positions to a really good golf swing? And it's exactly what I just said. You put them in positions, all right? It starts with positions. Why? Because positions allow you to what? Sequence. They move, the positions are movement of those positions in a particular sequence. So we sequence the movements of the positions. That makes some sense, right? So in other words, I position you at address, which allows you to then move to the proper positions of the swing, and then allows you to then start moving the club. All right, we like that. I like the fact that positions determine then sequence. Now timing is making sure that they end up in the right place at the right time. That's where I think range of motion comes in, because if I said this to you, instead of thinking about the concept, which is this concept of the fact that you've got to make sure that everything's in the right place at the right time, how about we mistake proof the timing of it? In other words, how about if we just say, well, as long as you hit these positions, you can swing as fast as you want. I like that, right? That's what I believe. I believe you can swing as hard and as fast as you want as long as you're in position. Why is that? Because if you work within the body's limits, if you are putting the body within its limits, then it can only go so far to a certain point. Let me explain that. If I give you variables, as you know, in the lower body, I like to have the knee flexed, I like to have the trail heel down, and I like you to then rotate into impact with your upper body from there. That's what I like. Why do I like that? Because if you keep that foot down and you keep this knee flexed, you can only go so far, right? You can only go so far. I have limited your ability to move, even though I'm not, and I've seen people on other channels, they kind of bash me with this. I'm not telling you not to rotate. I still have plenty of range of rotation in my pelvis. Look, I have lots of range of rotation in my pelvis. Matter of fact, at impact, I have as much rotation as most guys, the average guy on tour. The difference is that I'm only allowing you, I've created a limit to where you can't go any farther. Like you can't overdo it, and you can't get out of position when you do things. So lifting the foot creates a problem. Why does it create a problem? Because you're telling me that that little lift of the foot is allowing anything to occur other than a variation of rotation and out of position. It's going to create a variable. So I want the foot down. Now, let's take that up further into the swing, because timing, and by the way, timing has to be the club face getting square to impact, right? So ultimately, we got to get the club square to impact, club square to impact, club square to impact. So let's move that range of motion conversation up into the body. So now I have limits here. Well, side bend, which is very important, we discussed that. And notice side bend and range of motion of my upper arm create a limit to my hand position. The hand position is the face, right? So there's your face. So all I have to do is make sure that that position is, obviously my grip is good, but this is lining up at that moment. So I got to make sure it happens, right? I got to get this face square at impact. Now side bend, I'm going to put the club down for this one. Side bend. Now I'm coming in my downswing. I'm reaching my limit here. My side bend allows this to reach its limit, and then boom, look at this. So if you walk up to a wall, let's say there's a wall here, and I said, I just want you to hit this wall, boom, the back of the hand, right like that. Notice what's happening back here too, is I'm not going like this, I'm not doing that, I'm doing that, bang, bang, bang. And so now the timing element is reduced. Why? Because I can only go so far with this. The side bend only allows this to go so far, and that can only go so far. The only place that can occur is there. That is my limit, and that's a range of motion issue that I've created. How did I create that? Through positions. Position of the body, position of the feet, position of the side bend, position of the shoulders, side bend, and hand getting impact, and position of the grip. Positions of the body. And you wonder why we have a model, because I am trying to produce the easiest possible way to get the club from here to there with the least amount of movement, the least amount of variables, and the least amount of timing. Here we go. So I don't think you need that much timing. I think you got to hit your positions and then work on the proper positions of the body, keeping the knee flex, foot down, side bend, and see if you can't get that thing square more often. Thanks for joining me today. Click the bell icon, subscribe if you need to. I'll see you soon.
I believe that the single plane golf swing will simplify the golf game for a majority of golfers that play the game of golf. That means that more golfers are having fun playing golf. That's my mission. What I want to accomplish with that mission is I want every golfer that plays the game to, number one, know who Mo Norman is, know that there's a single plane swing out there in the world. So I want every golfer in the world to know about this guy named Mo Norman and about an easier swing that exists out there. And the reason I want that is because there will be a day, that conventional golfer where he is right now, that one day he will get frustrated with his swing. He will get to the point of wanting to quit because the conventional golf swing is that hard. And whether it's now when he's 25 years old or when he's 65 years old, he's going to want to quit the game because he just can't do it anymore. And that's the day he's going to call Graves Golf and learn the single plane swing. I just want to make sure that everybody knows who Mo Norman is and that there's an easier way to play.